This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, live from New York, it's the Ramble with me. I'm Alex Bennett. And of course, we're here until tonight at midnight. Ladies and gentlemen, his name is Larry Bubbles Brown. Well, what else would it be? Larry Bubbles Pink? Larry Bubbles Purple? Hello, Larry.
Hello, Alex.
Yeah, and what would it be if it weren't bubbles? Foamy? You know.
Well, you said if with the changing demographics, I should change my name to El FOMO.
El FOMO.
I said that one night. I got a big laugh, so I should keep that.
El FOMO. Anyway, how you been?
Good. I've been doing a lot of, this past weekend, I did a lot, for like 500 miles of driving for 3 gigs, but they were fun. And the last one was in that hellacious storm we had Sunday, so that was unbelievable.
Yeah. But so you're working again.
I'm working again, yeah.
How does that feel? You know, I mean, it's been a while since you were doing your act. And we've talked about this before, and people don't understand this. But you go, oh, well, how can you forget your act? Very easily.
Yes.
Right?
And I was pulling notes out on stage, but it seems to work, so that's fine with me.
I mean, it used to be, if I didn't do a radio show for 2 weeks, I came back, I was rusty.
Yeah.
You know? Now I take a day off and I'm rusty. But, you know, it's if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of comics, so I'm not the only one. It's very common. And then I heard that when Richard Pryor had his accident with the fire, that when he came, he said it took a full year for him to get back to his stand-up.
Really?
Yeah.
If you do it every day, you don't lose it, right?
Right.
Yeah. So and people don't understand this. They think, a comic gets up there, he tells jokes. How hard can that be? Well, it ain't easy.
It's all in your mind. It's timing and stuff. And it's like a baseball player. If he didn't take batting practice for a week and went to play a game, he'd be miserable. So.
Right. I wonder if the same thing's true of acting. I wonder if an actor doesn't work for many years, if when he comes back, he feels rusty.
I would think so.
Or she.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if you get rusty. I don't know. As I say, with me, if I took a couple of weeks off, coming back took me a couple of days to be able to get back into my stride. I couldn't just walk right in and pick up where I left off. You know.
I remember you did not like to take time off when you did radio.
What is that? What is that noise? All of a sudden, there was a lot of noise coming from somewhere. Anyway, what did you say when I came back? What?
When we were in radio, you rarely like to take days off.
I never took a day off.
Yeah. That
I can remember. You know, if I took a day off, I was really sick.
Yeah, I never remember you taking a vacation.
I took vacations, but if I got sick. I got sick once, I think, in the whole time that I was in San Francisco, and I think I took a day off because I couldn't get my head off the pillow. You know, it was just impossible. I had one of those flus, you know, where you just go, you're comatose. Mm-hmm. But I guess I felt that it was only 4 hours, okay? And if I was sick as a dog, it was only 4 hours, all right? And then I could go back home and get back into bed and sleep it off. But I hated the idea of taking a day off, you know, even if I was ill. And then people finally said to me, well, maybe when you're ill, that's when you should take a day off. because what happens is if you're sick, you're going to give it to other people.
Exactly.
So that kind of made me. But I'm taking off a lot of time lately with this thing. For one thing and another, number one, I had the eye thing, and then before that, I was sick, really sick for a week. Had a cold or something. I couldn't figure out what it was, and now I'm going to go do a court thing. Who knows how long that's going to last? They say to us, they gave us dates, and the dates are the 3rd through the 12th, with the weekends off and the 11th off. So that's about another 7 days, maybe, of trial. And we already did 3. And I'm thinking, aren't there murder trials that are shorter than that?
I was going to say, this is longer than the OJ trial.
This is longer than the OJ trial. Yeah. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. Okay.
As long as I talked to my sister about this. She says it's unbelievable how long this thing has dragged out with you.
Well, it hasn't dragged out because of us. We were willing to settle day one, right? It's this other guy who we're fighting, who just he's looking. What he's looking for is a payday. We sat in court. The last time we sat in court, he got up and he said, "I want $200,000, and I'll walk away." And they said, "Well, no way we're going to do that." Okay. So then, within 5 minutes, his lawyer said, "Yeah, we want $200,000." And then he leaned down to his client and came back and said, "We want $300,000." Well, that's not the kind of guy you can settle with, because he's looking for a big payday.
Right.
Plus, we understand he's not paying his lawyer. So, if you're not paying a lawyer, well, to begin with, you don't get a great lawyer. But if you're not paying your lawyer, what have you got to lose by stalling everything? But when they stall something, it costs us money because we have lawyers we have to pay. And we haven't been holding it. So for years, it's been 9 years this has been going on. 9 years. We expected when it first happened, maybe a couple of years and that's it, 9 years. And then
Never heard anything like that.
Well, 1 year of that was COVID. Okay, so blame everything on COVID. I'm tired of everything being blamed on COVID. I'm sorry we can't come out to your house to fix your washer and dryer because, COVID. Or
that's the excuse for everything now.
Yeah, AT&T. I had a thing with AT&T where I was trying to figure out why my Apple Watch wasn't picking up cellular. I spent literally 7 hours with them over a couple of days on the phone, turning it on, turning it off, resetting it, doing this, doing that, blah 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 blah, and then finally, in the end, I went online and found out it was just something I had to click on, and all of a sudden my cellular was working. And they couldn't figure this out at AT&T. Their last thing to me was, well, maybe you just better buy a new watch. Okay?
Yeah, very helpful people.
And what was the excuse why they had all these problems? We only had to work from home, and it's COVID. Well, wait a minute. You work from home, you use a computer, that computer is hooked into the same computer you use at work. So really, there's no difference between you working at home or working at, right? But they blame everything on COVID.
Everything.
I'm sorry, your server can't be with you right now at the restaurant because, well, there's COVID. Everything's COVID. I'm sorry, I'm tired of that as an excuse. If you can't deal with COVID, don't open your doors. Don't do business with people.
The only thing that worked for me for COVID was I got to renew my driver's license by mail. I didn't have to go in.
Oh, they did it so you could do it by mail instead of having to go in?
They changed that so you just do it by mail, yeah.
Wow, yeah, but no, we still, here in California, in New York, we had to go in.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know why you can't do the whole thing by mail. You know?
You should, yeah.
Are they back to doing it in person again now?
No, they said they're gonna keep doing it for the next couple of years. So.
That means that's going to be the way of doing business from here on in.
I think so.
Well, a lot of companies have found that they actually save money by having people work from home. They don't need the office space. They don't have to rent the office space.
Well, they'll save a fortune, yeah.
And they found that because of technology today, you can do all your work from home. It's very simple. So, you know, what have you. So, anyway, so what was it like being back on stage? Would it make you feel good? Or?
The crowds were good. These are pretty big rooms, so it'd be hard to bomb. So it just felt good. Yeah.
Big rooms are harder. Big rooms are harder to bomb in than small rooms, right?
Yeah, if you got Friday night it's 1,500 people. So if you only have to, if you get 10% of them laughing, that's 150.
Yeah. And
although the most uncomfortable thing is you can bomb in front of a big crowd, which that's very uncomfortable, I would think.
Yeah, but if you've got maybe 10% laughing at you, that will encourage the other 90% to laugh with them.
Right.
Yeah.
I always wanted to figure out, like, when you see a comic killing, what percentage of the room is actually really laughing hard. I never figured that out.
Well, I used to use an example. We did a thing at the Stanford University. Remember at the Frost Amphitheater?
Not only do I remember, it was October 4th, 1987.
You're probably on it, right?
Right. It was 100 degrees that day. It was really hot.
Yeah. But anyway, 9,000 people showed up.
It was amazing. Yeah.
And I got out there, and I emceed the show, and somebody afterwards said to me, "Aren't you afraid to be in front of 9,000 people?" And I said, "Well, I'll tell you when I'm afraid." I said, "I've been on stage at the Holy City Zoo where there were 3 people in the audience." I said, "That scared me."
Exactly. That's much more uncomfortable, right?
If there are 9,000 people out there, they aren't 9,000 people. They're this thing, this mural, you know? Right? Am I right?
Yeah. And 3 people is like, oh, it's real.
And it's much easier. And secondly, 9,000 people, pretty hard for somebody to heckle, you know? But now you're going into a club and there's 3 people sitting there with their arms folded and you're going, oh, shit. You know? And I never could work in front of 3 people. It's just impossible, you know? I would say I could work in front of 50, but, you know, 3? And I'm sure you had to do that many times at the Holy City Zoo where there were like 3 people sitting there.
Yeah, very, very uncomfortable.
And by the way, it wasn't like they were sitting in the back of the room. They're right there at the foot of the stage looking right up at you.
3 feet in front of you, yeah.
Yeah, they could literally grab your ankles and trip you, you know. So
frequently did.
Yeah. So, you know, when you have this giant 9,000 people sitting out there, it just they number one, they can't all rush the stage. You know, I mean, it's just it's very easy. Sometimes though, and tell me if this is true for you, on some stages when there's a spotlight on you, you can't see the audience.
You can.
Oh, well, we just lost Larry. For some reason, we just lost him. Let me call him back here. Let me see here. Come on. Oh, Larry is unavailable. What is this? Oh, let me see here. Let's try it again. Here we go. There we go.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. You know, it always happens occasionally with. I use Skype for these calls. But where was I? I was.
We were talking about you were talking about the bright lights where you can't see anybody.
Yeah. That when you're standing.
But what's really disconcerting is sometimes you'll have a room where you can see most of the crowd, and that's you don't want to see too many faces looking at you either. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, there is if you're standing on stage and there are lights on you, chances are. I mean, if you ever notice a comedy show and somebody's going, so Are you all enjoying yourselves out there? And the guy puts his hand up to his face,
Right.
so he can see them, because the lights, you see, all you hear is this laughter out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happens if you don't hear the laughter?
Very lonely.
It's very. The one thing I said about comedy, to me, I always admired stand-up comedy and stand-up comics, because it's not an easy thing to do. It's really quite difficult. It's scary, because when you die, you're dying alone.
Yeah.
Unless you're an improv group, then you're dying in threes. Yeah. But you die alone, and to me that's the scariest proposition. And people ask me if I ever done stand-up, and I said not on your life. I wouldn't pretend to do that. And the only time I ever got up in front of an audience was that audience knew who I was, and they listened to my morning show, so I could just pull stuff relating to the radio show, and everybody would laugh. But if I went to Fresno, forget it. I'd die.
Yeah, it's also watching a comic die. As Johnny Carson said, he couldn't watch a comic bomb. It was too painful just for him to watch.
Yeah. And some did on his show.
Which would be the bombing on the Tonight Show would be the worst, I would think.
Well, you did Letterman twice.
I did Letterman a couple of times. Right before that, I almost got the Tonight Show long before I was ready. But that would have been, I probably would have bombed. So,
well, who knows? You might have been successful and gotten a series, and
could have been like Stephen Wright. Who knows?
and I could be calling you to borrow money. That
was one of those. Remember, the Stephen Wright was he just made such a hit on that show.
Roseanne,
she got a sitcom off that.
Yeah.
Drew Carey.
Yeah, Roseanne was nobody until that show. Seinfeld was nobody until that show.
Ellen?
Ellen. I'll tell you, that show, The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, made comics.
Absolutely.
And if you got on there and you killed, I saw an interview with Seinfeld, and he said the fear that you have in going on the Carson show is you're going to do one of two things. You're either going to succeed, or you're going to bomb. And if you bomb, and you bomb on the Tonight Show, that's pretty much the end of your career.
You're done.
That's pretty much it. The fear of that first time on a Tonight Show has got to be just overwhelming.
I would think. Although I heard that audience was it was huge. It was 500 people, and it was generally a pretty easy crowd.
Easy crowd, yeah. How was the Letterman crowd when you did them?
The Letterman crowd, the one on NBC had a reputation it could be tough. The one at CBS was really nice. Because
it was literally a theater audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas the Tonight Show at NBC, or the late show, what do they call it there? The late night with David Letterman, was done in front of a pretty small audience.
250.
250, and it was a bleacher, really.
Yeah.
But how did you feel just before you went on both of those shows? Were you frightened?
I was freaking out. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. I had the first one before I flew out of San Francisco to New York. I was having nightmares.
Wow.
I just remember.
Could that be the reason why you took so long?
Sweat and it was horrible.
Could it be that
a lot of people? The early Letterman show, a lot of people comics bombed on there.
How about Will Durst?
He didn't have a good one, as I recall.
No, he did. He had a terrible one. He was never asked back, and it was a terrible, terrible set. I sat there and watched it at home and went, "Oh my God," And I think he got a lot of bad advice from the producer about what material to use and what not to use.
That's what I don't like about the TV shows. They pretty much make your set for you. It's like we don't want this, we don't want that, blah blah blah.
Yeah. And but Durst was probably, that was one time he failed, and the other time he failed was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Do you remember that?
Yes, I was the other lifeline.
Yes, and the comedian was who?
Rudy Reber.
Rudy Reber. And Rudy Reber got up to what, $500,000?
The question when they called for Durst was 500,000.
Okay, it wasn't a million yet. It was 500,000.
Right.
And do you remember what the question was?
I do. It was which of the following people directed the Michael Jackson Bad video, and the four options were Martin
Scorsese.
Yeah. Steven Spielberg, Quincy Jones, or who's the one they picked was the guy that he did the other Michael Jackson video.
Yeah. And it turned out it was Scorsese, right?
It was Scorsese, yeah.
Yeah. And without thinking twice, Durst, when he was the phone-a-friend, immediately said, I can't remember who the one was that did the first one.
Was it John Landis?
John Landis, yeah. He made one. Oh, John Landis. Well, that was wrong. and cost Rudy Reber what?
He got 32,000.
He got 32,000. And so that was the other Durst gaffe.
But it's a very tricky question.
Yeah. It was a tricky question, but it wasn't a tricky question if you knew the answer. I immediately sat there and went, Martin Scorsese. I knew. I just knew it. You know, it's a big deal when he directed a Michael Jackson video. And so I knew immediately, and when Durst went Landis, I went, oh, my God, Will. Rudy, don't accept the answer. Go with your gut.
Well, I just remember that everybody thought that was the right answer. They're all cheering and everything, and Regis just looked stunned when he saw the wrong.
Used to get me mad about that show is when they go for the $1 million question, and I knew the answer.
Yeah, why am I not there?
Why am I not sitting there? Right. The one they had was, what was the ship that came to the rescue of the Titanic?
Wow, that's not the Britannia.
There was one that it was one of the answers they gave. Okay. No, the Britannic was the Titanic's sister ship.
Right.
Yeah, but the California was the one that didn't. It heard the distress call. It just didn't go. And I always remember. and I always remembered that because California is my home state. I'd like to be a little prouder of it than that. It
didn't go.
Yeah, and then what was the next one? Oh yeah. So I knew the answer to that. Do you know? Do you have any idea?
No.
The Carpathia.
Okay.
Yeah. $1 million question. And I think the person got it right. But I knew the answer to that. And then I went, geez, I could have won $1 million if I was sitting there. Of course, I would have had to answer all the other questions that led up to it, but,
Well, that show was very popular for a couple of years.
And it still is. In England, they still do it. They stopped doing it here, but they still do it in England.
Yeah, they had that scandal in England.
Oh, well, years ago, there was a scandal about Who Wants to Be a Millionaire because this person cheated, literally, because they had somebody in the audience. And if you listen to it, they go back and they did a documentary on it. You can hear it. He would cough.
Yeah, so if the answer was C, he'd cough 3 times.
Yeah. And nobody paid attention to that. The guy walked away, won $1 million. I think eventually he had to give it back or something. But they went back and they listened to the tapes and they went, "Who's that person coughing in the audience?" But you had to assume that the person in the audience knew the answer. I mean, that was the difficult part. The person in the audience should have been the contestant, you know?
Well, they probably got some brain friend of theirs. It's a pretty good idea, actually.
Hey, listen, we've run out of time. You know, we've been talking 25 minutes, my friend.
Really? That's a long
Yes.
time. That's the length that sitcom's only 22. So
Yes, exactly. We're a sitcom plus 3 minutes.
yeah.
Anyway, I'll talk to you next time, okay?
You got it, Alex.
Ladies
Thank
and
you.
gentlemen, Larry Bubbles Brown.
This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
7 years of doing this. Have no idea why. Anyway, let me see here. Do we have any people waiting? No, nobody's waiting. Nobody's waiting to be on the show. Well, what do you know? Oh, well, no, now there is somebody. There is Alan, so I could admit him. I'm a little out of sync, right, folks? You know, if I didn't have this damn thing on here, I'd be okay. But
You're
for some
okay.
reason, I don't care if I'm out of sync or not.
I was getting ready to adjust my audio here because it always
Yeah.
goes to up, and now I got it.
Well, you see, now I'm in sync. If I didn't have Zoom going, I probably would have been in sync. So that's the problem. That's the problem.
And you know,
that I face.
Facebook, I know it's not going to matter to you, but Facebook is having all kinds of bandwidth problems today, I guess. I don't know.
Are they really?
Yeah, it works. I looked at Down Detector, and it said Facebook and Facebook Messenger was a mess.
Was down? Let me see here. Is it looking? Well, no. There's Facebook. Okay, and I click on it. Now it's working fine out here. Maybe some places in the country, you know, that it has problems. Could be.
So I understand you're not going to have a show next week.
Well, I'm not going to have a show on. I mean, see, here's what happens. I've got this trial again starting up, and you know the judge doesn't care whether you have a job or you have other things, you have a life. You know, they really don't care, so the fact that they don't care means that he says, okay, I've scheduled now. Mind you, we've already done 3 days, okay, of testimony, right? And he comes back and says, well, we're going to do what's Wednesday of the next week? It's 1, 2, 3, the third, the fourth, and the fifth, and then the following week every day except Friday, except Thursday. That's what? That's 7 days. Do we need 7 more days for this trial? And he says, well, we have those dates there in case we need them. Well, then how do I plan my life? You know, like I know probably, I would say we will be finished by next Friday. And on Friday night I'll do a show here because I don't have to be to court the next day. But I mean, it's just amazing to me that they, you know,
most murder trials, nobody goes for more than a couple days.
Yeah, but I mean, the nerve of it all, saying, "Hey, you know, we're gonna put you out for 7 days." I mean, come on, this isn't like an important trial,
Right.
You know, what the impeachment of Trump took fewer days.
That's right.
You know, I mean, really.
Yeah.
I mean, this is ridiculous, and I'm probably gonna fuck myself over because I'm gonna tell the judge, "Hey, speed this thing up." You know, you're the referee here. You're the guy that should be forging ahead and getting this thing done, and not saying, "Let's take 7 days plus another 3 days, like 10 days to decide this case." Come on. The only people getting rich here are the lawyers.
I don't think it would piss the judge off. You've gone this far.
Well, I mean, you know, my problem is that you know, we think of it this way, okay? Each of these lawyers are making about $500 an hour. All right, $500 an hour.
Wow.
There are at least 3 lawyers. There are 3 lawyers involved here.
Okay.
So that's 3 lawyers who are working, say, 5 hours, maybe 6 hours that day. Okay?
Yep.
So that's what? $3,000 a lawyer? There's $9,000 worth of lawyers at work. And my question is, no matter what anybody makes out of this whole thing, if anybody even wins this whole case, you know, who's coming out ahead? The lawyers are coming out ahead. You know, it just absolutely galls me.
So I have a correction to make. I misunderstood Phil.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he did not create Gabnet. He created, or he coined the term Gabnet Live.
Yes, he did. If that's something you want to take credit for, you know.
Yeah, well,
you know, I mean,
he made a deal about it.
Well, no, what happened was I was looking for a name, a word that you could use on Skype to call the show, and
Right.
I had like Great American Broadcast or whatever, and I said that's too unwieldy. I'd like it to be Gabnet, but somebody already has Gabnet. So I don't know what to do. And Phil called him and said, why don't you just call it Gabnet Live? And I went, good idea. But it's not like he came up with the name Gabnet, you know.
Oh, Phil's claiming he came up with that?
But no, he didn't. He made a mistake last night.
I misunderstood what Phil said. So he
Yeah, that's very unusual for you to misunderstand something Phil says. It's usually us misunderstanding everything he says, you know.
That's right. So he sent me a message. I coined the Skype handle Gabnet Live. Please apologize on the air and correct yourself for calling me a liar. I didn't call him a liar.
Yes, you did.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes, you
Whatever. My understanding was that he created Gabnet. I didn't know anything about Gabnet Live as far as I knew. But, you know, I'm old and forgetful.
Well, I don't think this is anything to really bitch about, you know.
Doesn't matter to me. He asked me to correct it online tonight. I did so.
Okay, correction noted. Hello, Josh. How are you this evening?
Sorry.
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I guess, you know. So anyways, I was saying I won't be on next week probably because I have to be to the court the next morning, every morning at 9:30.
Oh,
So to get off here and then to go down there, and you know, and you know, and I don't know. I'm thinking about one day, the first day, not even showing up. You know.
do you have to be there every day?
Well, the judge wants all litigants in the courtroom. You know.
Yeah.
We asked for a thing which is called what's it called? But what you're doing is you're appealing to the court to hold off the trial until January, because one of the parties against us is asking to evict us and put him back in the apartment, which is that's not going to happen. Okay. But anyway, it is in part an eviction case, and if you're threatened with being evicted in New York, and you have outlying circumstances like I had cancer, okay, it's a good example,
sure.
and I'm also 81 years old, I can ask for a exemption so that we can hold the trial off until January.
Postponement.
Well, postponement, yeah. And immediately they rejected our appeal.
Really?
Yes,
Really?
which really they can't, but we'd have to go a whole bunch of places to argue it, because I mean they said, well, this only applies to housing court. No, it doesn't. It's actually we're in with the Supreme Court of New York, and there are about 5 cases in the Supreme Court that did this. Okay.
What a mess.
So you know, so I'm dealing with a kind of a hostile, not a hostile judge. I think one of his people is kind of hostile towards us. So I don't know. You know,
You want to keep the judge on your side of it.
I don't give a shit anymore. You know, I really don't.
I'm going to think of my cousin Vinny when you go, Alex.
I really don't, because every time, you know, I mean, he has cost us so much money with his stalling and his holding this and his holding let's have another meeting to figure out if we can solve this problem without a trial. Really? How many times you've done this and nothing happened with it? Because there's one person in this whole thing that is does not want to go that way. He just wants to have a full-on trial. So, you know, I mean, it's a pain in the ass. If I had known when this whole thing started that it would have lasted this long and cost this much money, I would have told Marjorie, let's go look for another apartment, you know. But hey, you know, we were told, this will only take a couple of years. This is easy to take care of. You guys have a real slam dunk case. It's gone from being a slam dunk case to, well, I don't know. We got to see what's going to happen here. And I'm going, what happened to slam dunk?
And you got the COVID, the Delta variant, tell the guy too.
What? I didn't have a Delta variant.
No, but I mean, like, it's out there. It's whole COVID. We're still in a pandemic.
Well, we still have it's still out there. I mean, you know, but you know, we said I had cancer, and that makes me vulnerable to COVID, and you don't want to put me out on the street. Okay, that's basically the thinking behind it. It's a law here in New York, but they rejected that appeal. So, you know, what the hell, you know. And then I know damn well what's going to happen here. I mean, it's going to eat up every penny I have, okay? I honestly believe that. Because if this guy doesn't win like he wants to win, what's he going to do? He's got a lawyer he's not paying, from what I understand. If the guy's on retainer, what's he going to do? He's going to appeal it.
You're going to be there forever.
Oh,
it's going to be like,
you know, I'll be. It's a question: when will I run out of my last penny? Before I die or after I die? So you know, but I mean, it's getting to the point where it's really getting to me. You know, so and then we had another thing happen. What in the last couple of days, Marjorie got a thing for our pharmaceutical insurance. The people we're with, I can't remember now who we're with, is going to stop doing it. So today we had to go shopping around for new what do you call it, pharmaceutical. I don't really need it. I get all my stuff online through Costco online, the online pharmacy, and it's cheaper. It's cheaper than anything I would pay. I don't even pay using my insurance. I just pay saying, hey, just charge me whatever you charge. And everything they charge me for is cheaper than it would be with insurance at Walgreens. So, and on top of that, you're paying like $50 a month for the plan, and you're paying a deductible of something like almost $500. So what do I need it for? You know? So, but we're doing it anyway because Marjorie's company pays for it, and you know, who knows? I mean, something catastrophic may happen, and then I have to get something that isn't covered by Costco. You know, so whatever. What did you just send me? A pumpkin thing, a cartoon? I'll look at it later. Okay. No, yeah. Okay. Anyway, so but anyway, so this thing goes on and on and on, and it's just I think somewhere along the line there has to be a lot of reform with the way these things are done, especially, you know, I mean, the landlord has enough money, he can fight this continually. And he's on our side because he's being sued with us. Okay, so that's the good news. The bad news is this other guy, from what I understand, is not paying his lawyer. He's either pro bono or he's just not paying him. Or it's a friend doing a favor for him, so he can just go on forever, right?
So that's the guy who sublet. That's the guy who sublet the apartment to you, Alex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's probably that basketball guy. They probably have lawyers or whatever through their thing.
No.
Oh, no.
Nope. But you know, I mean, it's just, you know. And the judge was impressed by the fact that he had been a basketball player.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I remember you were a basketball player. And I wanted to raise my hand and say, you know, I'm better known than he is.
You were saying that. I was trying to guess to Shecky one time who your lawyer or who it was, but he didn't know. I wasn't being nosy. I was like, well, it can't be anybody famous because Alex.
If I said it to you, I'm not going to say the name, okay?
No.
Okay. If you want to call me, I'll tell you, okay? But if I told you his name, you probably don't even know of him.
I'm pretty big with basketball, so I might know because I read a lot of biographies. So I might know it as a fringe. Like if you tell me like the Knicks I know, of course, Clyde Frazier, so I know who was on the roster because I'm a fan. I'm just a sports junkie, so I might know it. You don't have to tell me if you don't
No,
want.
I'm not going to tell you. Not here.
Okay.
No, I'll tell you.
No. Okay.
You know.
But I know. Yeah, I don't want you to say it on the air. No, please, because you got a kid.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to write me and I write you back, I'll tell you who it is.
Yeah, man, I'll do it next week then.
Yeah.
I was trying to think who it could be, but I'll figure it out.
Well, the guy's, I'll tell you his name, Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh,
Anyway.
it's Wilt. I think he died, I think, Wilt.
Did he? I don't know. Don't ask me, Mr.
He did die.
All I have are sports Emmys. I don't have to know.
I know. I still can't get over yet. That's a nice Emmy you got too, Alex. That is nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
It is a nice Emmy, really.
But anyway, so, all I'm saying is that it's just been a really, if I had known this was going to last, this is almost, they're going to put me up on the stand and ask me about the whole thing, right? And I thought to myself, how many of us remember exactly what happened to us a decade ago?
I couldn't remember. Maybe 8 months ago. I couldn't remember.
I'm going to just tell them, go look at the deposition we did 7 years ago. That'll be closer to what I remember, I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing how this thing just gets prolonged and prolonged. And this isn't an important case. It has no importance at all.
And that's a nice building, Alex. When I went to that one time, it's not, your apartment is beautiful. It's so big with the wood floors. Mm-hmm. It's nice.
Yeah. No, it's a lousy building.
But the apartments are nice inside. How they're all redone. Though,
well, they're not all redone. If I showed you our place wasn't redone.
It wasn't. It's nice.
It was repaired, but it wasn't redone.
You have a fireplace, right? I think you did.
2 fireplaces.
2, yeah. Come on, and those rooms were nice size, and yet I liked it because it was almost like you had so much space for 2 people. I was like, wow, the kitchen was nice too.
Well, it's really nice because we don't have to ever see each other.
You were saying you got a lot of space, man. Yeah. But I mean, for a place like that, it's just so big, especially to be in the city, pretty much.
Yeah, but anyway, so I really don't want to talk that much about the case because I probably shouldn't be even. Well, all I'm talking about really is the fact that this thing's just taken forever, and there should be laws against that. For trials of this sort, especially when there's, we're the only ones involved in it who are really losing money. I mean, the landlord's probably losing money too, but he's got the money to lose.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't, and. I mean, I don't know what my lawyer plans on. What if I said to my lawyer Wednesday, we've run out of money.
Oh, see you later.
What's he going to do? What's he going to do? Is he going to keep working for us and finish the thing after he's taken $100,000 from us? Or is he just going to cut bait and leave? What do you think, Josh?
I don't know what he would do, honestly.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Yeah. But, I feel sorry for people like myself, right, who don't have unlimited resources, who then get tied up in something like this, and the cost is just unrelenting. And this is not even a criminal case, that's the worst part about it. And it's not really a civil case. It's just a suit by somebody, which I think is almost a frivolous lawsuit against us. So, us and the landlord and them. We shouldn't even be in this suit. We shouldn't even be part
you're a
of it.
victim, really.
What?
You're a victim in this whole thing.
Well, that has nothing to do with it. I'm saying that we shouldn't be part of this because this is a fight between the landlord and this guy.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
And we're caught in the middle of it because we were the people who had occupancy of the apartment at the time. And since we haven't left, he wants back into this apartment. Well, he's not going to get back into it after 9 years. I'm sorry. He probably doesn't even remember the address anymore.
He'd probably go to the wrong place.
Yeah, probably go to the wrong place. Exactly.
I thought it was this building. You don't even get out of here.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a light turnout again tonight. Maybe it's good. Maybe I'll just do Fridays and that's it.
Well, I know it's the World Series. I told Phil to call, but he says I only call Wednesdays. Now you made him a diva, I think. Alex.
Is it the World Series on now?
Yeah, right now Atlanta's winning 1-0 in the 8th.
Oh, okay. boy, then I should turn this all off so I can go watch the. Where you go? He's leaving to go watch the series. Where did he go? He just left. He just got up and walked off. I'm gonna go watch the series.
I make a tea. My throat has a tickle in it. I have a little cold.
Oh.
I took the booster shot. I told Checky, Alex, it knocked me on my ass. I was dead tired for the last like 3 days. I had a headache. Yeah, I was tired.
No,
I'm a little better today.
The booster doesn't really. It knocks you out. Maybe that night I think I got some aches and pains, and that was it.
I had my shoulder. I had a headache. Yeah, I actually feel a little better today. I was sleeping a lot.
And I had the third shot. We got the third shot.
Yeah, I got the third one.
Yeah. Well, did you hear now that they're suggesting a fourth?
Get out of here! You got to be kidding me.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right, Alan?
2 freaking shots. This is not sounding good now. Come on, and we gotta. Did you see? Alex, I have to agree with our stupid mayor. The one thing, 4 shots. The mayor, I agree with him on the mandate, because did you see the turnout? The 60% of the firefighters are only vaccinated. They don't want to get vaccinated.
Well, they're idiots. They're morons. They're dealing with the public every day. They should be vaccinated.
Well, after today, they get no pay. They get leave. That's it.
And by the way, do you know that police have died of COVID at an exponential rate to the rest of the population?
And they're not getting a shot.
And they're not getting shots.
I was going to tell you that. Does that make any sense?
No, of course not, because they're morons.
And then the sanitation workers too, they're low on the polls. They say, "Oh, wait to see what we'll do." They didn't pick my garbage up till 8:00 at night yesterday. I told Checky. The old lady next door, the Chinese, says, "Are they going to pick up?" I said, "Usually they pick up at 9:00." It was 8:00 at night. It was still had garbage in. That's what they're doing.
There is kind of a garbage slowdown.
That's exactly it. They want it blown all over the street so we can get mice running around. I just had an exterminator here.
Yeah.
Because my neighbor next door had a mouse.
Yeah. Well,
but I didn't see anything.
Well, that's okay. Then we don't have to worry about COVID anymore because we'll all get the Black Plague.
Exactly. You can't get over. They won't take a shot.
Yeah. How do you feel about this, Josh? I mean, from a legal standpoint of the fact that these cops are refusing. I mean, shouldn't they be required because they're dealing with the public? Shouldn't they be required to get a? I
mean, personally, I don't know that I think, that they should necessarily be required, but legally, I mean, I think that, I think the mandates could hold up, legally, especially in a lot of states.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be like a matter of personal opinion versus what one believes is actually constitutionally allowable or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the mandates or whatever go, I'm fairly indifferent. I mean, I don't care. I mean, at some point, we need to get over this shit.
I think that anybody who is what I hate are these people who say, "Well, the reason I don't want to take it is it's untested." How many people in America have taken this thing? Because it's untested, it's unproven.
Yeah, right. I mean, if you don't want the fucking thing, then
no. I say if you don't want the fucking shot, great.
Then get it.
Then don't go to work. We'll hire somebody else in your place.
Right. I mean, just let people do what they want and take the consequences of it or whatever. I mean, I don't know.
Now you were a policeman, Alan. Alan, are you? Your microphone isn't on. Alan, you're muted.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The issue with the cops and the firefighters is that big surprise, most of them are Republican.
But I don't see how this is a Republican issue or a Democratic issue.
Well, because Trump said no masks and all those people died. Trump never, he kind of snuck around as he left the White House, and him and Melania got shots, and he's never really been pro-shot. And I don't understand why all these people worship him.
Well, I don't understand why anybody worships him now, because he certainly
It has been.
well, but he certainly is not a what's the word I'm looking for? He's not a winner, you know, and I don't know why everybody's kissing his ass.
I don't
Why?
get it.
Because
He
a
is a
bunch
winner.
of thugs are his followers.
Yep. I know.
Yeah. What do you think's going to happen in Virginia?
Oh, Phil's hoping the Republican wins. He thinks Phil says they're going to win.
Well, Phil thinks that Republicans going to win. Oh, I couldn't
That's
figure
what
that
told
he
me.
would
Wait till you
think.
see.
I couldn't figure that he would think that.
You know, when Phil predicts something, it usually goes
Go
the
the
other
other-
direction.
Yeah.
Not Jimmy the Greek.
Politics.
I
comes to
think
politics.
McAuliffe's going to lose it. I do.
I haven't. I have to look. I don't know.
And I think-
haven't seen it.
I'm not following this election.
And I think
so
it has something to do
You're
with,
right.
with Biden. I think Biden.
I think the Jersey guys wouldn't.
Hold
I
on a
like
second.
him.
I'm
Miami-
talking. I'm talking, Tony.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think that Biden is the problem. And I think here's what I would tell Biden if I were his aide de camp and could tell him what to do and not to do. Don't get on television so much, because you come across as somewhat doddering, okay? You may not be, but you come across that way.
And he's
when,
old.
And when you put yourself on TV too much, every time you do, you lose somebody. You know, yes, there are times to get on and give a speech. You know, there are moments when it's very important. But he's on the air every single day. You know, at least I got some laughs out of Trump. You know, but Biden, it's you know. What do you think, Josh? Would you agree or disagree with me on that about Biden? That maybe he needs to spread himself a little thinner.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's on, the news too much. I don't know that he can do much about it. I mean, I haven't seen him on there that I think is too much or anything. I mean,
Well,
I don't think he's as much as the problem as his party is the problem. I mean, it's been how long since he got elected? I mean,
and
what's the party done?
They can't even agree with each other.
I mean, what have they done? I mean, really? I mean, list of accomplishments. Let me. hang
Well,
on.
you know, I think back on
Yeah, none. I mean, I just don't. I don't see a lot that they've done, and the bill that they supposedly are working toward now, this human infrastructure bill. I mean, I looked into some of that today, and I think that there's a lot of good stuff there. Okay, so don't get me wrong. This comment's going to be taken the wrong way, but a lot of that stuff is really going to be focused on people who are much poorer than I am. Okay, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at it and my wife look at it, and we are for all of that stuff. Okay, but I look at it and I read like the top 8 things or the 9 things, and I said, doesn't do anything for me, doesn't do anything for me, doesn't do anything for me, doesn't do anything. I mean, I read all of them and said, not going to change my life any whatsoever. So the fact that I'm better off than a lot of people, you can take that comment the wrong way. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying we're going to go another presidency and another cycle here where I'm going to be like, I don't think they did anything to change my life. So if I'm thinking that, I'm sure that there are a lot of other people in that sort of upper middle class echelon, especially white people, who are looking at it the same way. And it's not going to surprise me when these people vote for Republicans in another 10 or 12 months or whatever it is. I mean, I'm just giving you an honest read on that. I'm not necessarily saying that that's the right thing to do. I'm just saying that that's how I interpret it or whatever. Because even though I'm not against any of those policies or whatever, and hell, I would be fine if they raised my taxes a little bit to pay for them. And I don't even really make, all that much. I'm just saying,
Right.
I'm totally in favor of all that, but I looked at it and went, doesn't help me at all. And the one thing that will help me, which might be the other infrastructure package, which might actually have some effect on my life, they still can't get done because they haven't gotten this other thing done yet. That, again, doesn't help me. So people in my,
but don't we
social
really
status or whatever economic status are going to look at it and probably say something similar.
Don't we really have two Democrats that are holding a lot of this stuff up in what's her name,
for the
Kristen
most
Sinema
part,
and Joe Manchin?
Yeah.
I mean, these two people are what's holding everything up, and it's I just think that we have a broken system here. No matter who's in office, it's a broken system. You would have thought that Biden got elected, hey, we're going to start having some functioning government. We don't have functioning government. We got a guy going to Rome to get the Pope's blessing,
That's funny.
Yeah. I mean, the Pope came out on his side and said, no, you should get communion,
Well, again, I feel a lot better. My life's changed.
Yeah. But I mean, he had to go all the way to Rome to.
He can meet with the Pope. He's the president of the United States, whatever. But I mean, that's another thing. Like of the list of things that I could literally not care about, one of them is the Pope. If you got some Catholic people listening and they're offended by that, I really don't.
Well, I've never been able to figure out why he's considered a world. Why he's considered a world leader.
He's not.
It makes no sense to me whatsoever.
I mean, it's the Catholic fucking church.
Are there any Catholics here that I'm bothering? Well, Tony, you're Catholic, aren't you?
It's okay. My mother's got all the Pope stuff in the room.
With a name like Tony, you've got to be.
Congratulations to the Catholic Church because the U.S. Congress exists. You now do not have to be the most corrupt organization in the fucking world. Okay, thank God for the U.S. Congress and the Olympics. I mean, so 90 minutes with the Pope would be like 90 minutes of my life that I could never get back. But for Joe Biden, it was apparently important.
Yeah. By the way,
all of which is fine, but the news today talked that shit like, what
gets me about...
I tried a few different channels and
I've griped about this before, but it gets even worse as we go on about how they will find a story, and it's news, but it's not an important story, and then they will just bleed it to death. Now, that girl and her boyfriend who killed her in Wyoming, okay, that one went on for weeks. As a major story, headline tonight, we think they found the body, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going, aren't there other important items? I mean, this is like, I mean, it's sad, but, And then the whole thing with Alec Baldwin. Yeah, that's news when it happened, but it isn't news 5 days later,
Yeah, 2 or 3 days ago, I went into work a little bit later than I normally do. At the opening of the Morning Joe on MSNBC, it was the lead-off story for like 5 minutes.
Now, how is that a lead story?
Shooting on a movie set.
How's that a lead story?
Well, it's not. I mean, I don't know how it is. I mean, it's a story that I don't really have any.
And for days,
someone died. I'm not.
And for days they're trying to figure out how this happened. And I got to tell you, folks, if you're wondering how it happened, somehow a live bullet got into a gun.
Yeah.
That's how it happened.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I don't know why they would have any real ammunition anywhere on the property, period.
Well, what they're saying
if you talk about it, then you're going to spend time on something that's,
they say that some people were playing with this gun and shooting target practice with it. And of course, when you do target practice, you got to use live ammo. Otherwise, it's not going to work. A wad of paper is not going to knock over a tin can. So perhaps they were playing with it and they put real live bullets in there. Well, okay.
Obviously, yeah.
But
given the fact that
how is that allowed to happen?
This has
the
happened
armorer
like twice
didn't
now.
like the assistant director.
What?
Maybe the person that handled the guns did not like the assistant director and knew she was going to get shot.
Well, I don't know. But all I'm saying is the story that important that it should lead the news for like 3 days straight?
No, it's not.
I think that Biden better get off his rump and come up with a budget because the 2022
He better.
election.
You know what he should do? You know, we had. You remember Johnson, who was followed Kennedy. He got every one of Kennedy's programs passed. How'd he do it? Johnson just brought people into the Oval Office and read them the fucking riot act. You don't do this, you ain't gonna get that, pal. Don't ever expect blah 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 blah. And everything Johnson wanted, Johnson got because he knew how to play the game. Apparently, Biden plays softball. You know, and that's not how you play with these guys.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't give Trump a position in the cabinet.
What, Secretary of Stupidity?
That's a joke. So.
Yeah. Hello, Kevin. How are you?
Okay, how you doing, Alex?
Yeah. Okay, Kevin. What? By the way, it always says WB. What does it say in your thing there? W6.
Shortwave.
Oh, that's your shortwave sign.
Oh, that's my camp.
W6KWS.
I left that on there because I have meetings with my ham people.
Oh, I see. Okay. I didn't know you were into ham radio.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Because you would think that in the old days, ham radio was a great thing because, hey, you could talk to somebody who was all the way on the other side of the country.
We've got a whole emergency network around here in we set up rural schools with ham radios so that they can talk if there's an earthquake and stuff like that.
That would actually...
Yeah, and when the government comes to take us all to the camps, that's how we'll communicate.
Well, that also isn't that. Hi, Brian. Isn't that kind of a way that we could, like, if the internet went down, ham radio would still work, right?
Yep. And we can talk. We got ways to.
Everyone knows if the internet goes down, it's over.
Yeah.
Oh, Facebook went down for 6 hours a couple of weeks ago, and everybody went fucking crazy. You know, they went bananas. What is this? A light show you're putting on now?
No, Adrian messed something up.
Next thing you know, he's going to have that music going in the background.
What's the blue light for?
Oh, I turned it on. Usually, Adrian did something to it. I don't know.
Sure. Blame your daughter.
Yeah.
Hey, you think this is
trouble?
trouble?
Brian, start the strobe and show us.
Yeah, you think this is trouble, Kevin? Wait till she. Excuse me, Brian.
How big is
Wait
the
till she.
mirror
Wait.
ball on
Wait.
the ceiling,
Wait until she
Brian?
starts dating. You know.
No, my daughter has lights all the way around her room that I had to install.
Yeah, I have LEDs down here. And...
Yeah, LEDs all the way around. They're controlled by the phone. You can strobe them. I walk by and give her seizures once in a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got them on the phone. I can go by, and when I want her to go to bed, I'll hit the strobe light.
I'm watching this show called Invasion. I don't know if anybody's watching this thing. It's a very interesting invaders from space show. And the reason it's unusual is you never see the aliens.
Oh.
The story is more about four groups of people, and how they react to what's going on. And you've yet to see. I'm in the 4th episode now out of 8. You've yet to see an alien, but it's very compelling. So I just thought I would mention that. Yes, Alan.
I have to go. Everybody have a good weekend.
Where are you going?
To take care of my mother.
Oh, come on, screw her.
Yeah, no thanks. Okay.
Okay.
You guys have a good weekend.
Bye-bye. Okay. Somebody did once, and now we have Alan. See?
Tag team.
Oh, you're going? Oh, no.
No, tag him out.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of Netflix lately. They have some good racing stuff. They had a good thing of Willie T. Ribs, and they had that was Adam Carolla present, and it was a really good story about him. About
who?
And then,
yeah.
Some of the F1 racing stuff, really good. I like Netflix a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just wondering if it's too expensive for what it is.
I canceled mine for a few months now. They keep sending me emails. Come back. I'm going to wait till a couple of.
Do they offer it to you at a cheaper price?
No, it's still $8.95 for the package I had. You know, give me a month free or something if they want.
Well, no, I have a package that has 4K.
Oh, I don't have the 4K.
Okay, and that package runs me $18 a month.
See, that's expensive. Yeah, I do $9.
$17.99, yeah.
I wasn't watching it that much when I have football on now, so I figured I'd cancel for a few months.
You know, and then I have my Disney package, which includes
I watch my brother's Disney,
which includes Hulu and ESPN Plus.
And you get all the Marvel stuff too.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Hulu, I loved. Hulu's terrific. You know, but I also buy it without commercials.
I think I have the commercials. He has. I like the Disney because of all the movies on there. I can watch the Hawkeye's coming out. It looks good. I saw the trailer, the TV series.
Yeah.
MASH.
What'd you say?
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Ah, remember?
Oh yeah.
Never mind.
Okay, I lost you somewhere there.
MASH. Remember the show MASH?
Oh, Hawkeye. Yeah. Boy,
I still watch MASH on MeTV at night.
Yeah, you know, I wonder how many people actually watching us right now who actually know that reference. You know,
I hated that show.
Oh, I love.
I mean, I listened to Jack Bishop, and he starts talking about all these TV shows, and I'm going, I think he's talking to like 2 people in the entire audience.
How does his audience do?
You know, like, I watch every episode of Perry Mason. Oh, so you're the one. You know.
He's got another one. I'd be like,
how is his show's numbers?
Who?
Jack.
He does fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does fine. Yeah, I was looking at some numbers the other day, and he does very, very well in the audio. Well, he's audio only anyway, but in the audio thing.
But a lot of people listen to him later because...
A lot more people listen to Gabnet purely on audio, not on video. I mean, these shows, the biggest show I've had was an episode, I guess, maybe earlier this month, that was the audio-only feed. Was incredible.
Yeah.
You know. So, you know, I don't know why I do it with video, but it's because we're doing Zoom anyway, so you might as well.
And you just got your eyes done. You got to show them off.
Yeah, well, right. There they are. How do they look good? Actually, I couldn't do that before, to tell you the truth. I couldn't make them bug out like that.
Oh, can you see a lot better now?
No. I can, when I'm sitting there watching television, I don't have to, like, do this, you know. Okay? But so far as my vision is concerned, it's blurrier. And I'm going to see my doctor on Monday. I'm going to ask him why. You know, but it just seems blurrier than it was. Because, so, I mean, if I put on the glasses now, I'm fine, you know. But, you know.
Right. You look so smart now.
Look so bright, right? Yeah.
Oh, was that to help the dryness?
No.
No?
This was to, what happens is, as you get older sometimes, some people, and the trouble is, I am 81, so everything starts to fall apart. You know, you got this, and you got that, then you got this, you got that. And one of the things that happened was my lids started coming down over my pupil and obscuring about 50% of my pupil. So if I wanted to lie there watching television, I'd have to like up my brow, and I still wasn't clearing the pupil. If you look, you can see my entire pupils. This is the side that he says is not as covered. He may have to go back and do one of them, but they both look pretty good, right? You can see the full pupil. But before you couldn't, because it was like, you know, like that. So he did that, but somehow my vision is a little blurrier now than it was. And I'm going to have to ask him why. Maybe something that will clear up after a while. I'm also getting headaches as a result of it. Yeah. So, but that's what happens when you get old, okay?
It's only been a few weeks, though.
Huh?
It's only been a few weeks, right?
Yeah. So how are you enjoying the keto bars, the keto ice cream bars? The only problem I have with them, I have to eat them over the sink.
Because they crumble?
Because they're sugar free. They don't, the chocolate doesn't adhere as well to the ice cream as it would on a normal ice cream bar. So you have to eat it over the sink so it doesn't, the chips don't fall, and you don't have shrapnel all over the place. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But boy, they're good, aren't they?
Yeah, very good.
They're yummy.
I feel guilty.
In fact, I didn't. It feels like you're not taking in very many carbohydrates, but you feel like you must be doing something terrible to your body, you know, because they taste that good. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know. Today is the winter is starting.
Oh yeah, I took a walk today and I put on my little thermal jacket, and it wasn't good enough to keep me warm.
Yeah.
You
So
know.
I'm going to start going to the gym.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. Have
So
fun.
I've been doing a lot of bicycling
Oh really? Okay.
outside.
Yeah.
It's too cold.
No, it is too cold to do a lot of it. Marjorie was supposed to go to her gym tomorrow morning, and she phoned him and said, "I'm not coming." She's going to stay home and use the Peloton, you know, because she said too
Well, I
cold
have
to go
one-
out.
I have one bike downstairs, which is, what do you call it? You exercise on it,
Yeah.
but you don't go anywhere.
Well, I force myself to walk a lot, and I'm just wondering what's going to happen now that we're entering winter, because I don't know if I want to take as many walks with it being that cold, you know. So
Well, my other plan is to go to Florida
to go to Florida
for
for the winter.
for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well, I said to Marjorie, she says, "Oh, it's getting too cold. It's getting too cold." I said, "You know, we're Jews, and at this age, by law, we're supposed to move to Florida. You know,
That's right.
but I don't want to move to Florida. Do I want to be down there with those crazy people? I mean, every crazy story that happens comes out of Florida.
Yeah, you're right. They were down there. They had laundries. Yeah, in Sarasota.
The laundries were right.
Yeah, they were all camped out. The mother. Do you know the cops mistook the mother, for Brian? They were saying. I was reading online. I don't know if it's true. There's some cops. How can you
See, now
mistake
why
the
do we
mother
even
for
why do
son?
we even care, Tony? Why do we care?
I know. I was so because I don't know. You mentioned Florida because I was enraptured with that case too. I was all
You were enraptured with that case?
Yeah, my sister. She was
Why?
called. She got me into the
Why?
because we wanted to see them catch him alive. We wanted him in jail.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you so sure he
Now that
killed
they-
her? Are you so sure he killed her?
I mean, he had to. Come on.
No, what do you mean? He didn't
Yeah,
have
you're right.
to.
I mean, you'll never know. It's going to be like a conspiracy theory. Who killed him? You know, I can. see the
No,
whole thing
I
coming.
believe me. I don't. While this thing predominated the news, dominated the news. I will say to you that within 6 months, nobody's going to talk about it
Hopefully.
or care.
That's right.
You know, we barely can get people to remember the Kennedy assassination. I think that America has a short memory. You know, so
Which Kennedy?
which Kennedy? Yes. Right. Anyway, well, there was one other piece of news, and I was trying to remember what it was that I saw today. I'm not watching the news that much. Is there any news item that has been getting you, Kevin, that's been floating your boat?
I haven't been watching much really either.
Yeah. Why aren't you watching?
Same old stuff in the morning.
See?
Because it's pretty much repeat every morning.
Yeah. You know, when I was starting out on radio, we used to do, if you remember on radio stations, on the hour they would do news on the hour, and we do 4 or 5 minutes of news. It was what we call rip and read news. You'd rip it off the teletype, and then you go in and just read it. Okay, like you cared. All right. And I finally asked somebody at the station, like my program director. I said, "Why do we do this every hour?" I said, "Because from 1 hour to the next, the news is pretty much the same." And his answer was, because people want to know that nothing has changed.
Why do they do the weather every 10 minutes?
Yes, weather on the tens, right? Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Is the weather going to change? The weather forecast going to change that terribly in 10 minutes?
Why do they do the weather at all?
Right.
Do they still do the weather?
I go right here.
Yeah,
That's
I
all.
mean,
yeah.
exactly.
Right.
I can see it maybe every hour,
Yeah.
maybe, but
Yeah,
that's
believe it or
what's
not,
to
they
do.
actually pay people money to completely
By the-
fucking act like a fucking dumbass.
By the
Yes,
way,
they do.
have you seen what they've done with the
Job you
weather?
can keep when you're 90% wrong.
Have you seen what they've done with the weather on the iPhone?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not just that, okay? It's, let me see here. It's all of this. Look at that. You've got, you go down here and you've got all this stuff. Let me see if I can. All this stuff, it just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, well, look at mine.
What, where?
Can you see that?
Oh, that. Oh, okay. That isn't the
Yeah,
new
I
watch.
can't get
Is that the new watch or the old one?
That's not.
Yeah.
It's not that new, but I've got 3 different temperatures that it's
Yeah.
talking about.
And by the way,
What the temperature is right now?
if you look,
what it's going to
if
be.
you look closely, can
Yeah.
you see the rain is dropping, and it's actually hitting the bottom of it and bouncing?
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And then I go all the way over to, where do I go? Paris, Ibiza. It's Beijing. It's daytime there. 63 degrees in Beijing. But it's here in
The
New
only
York
time I
City.
use that weather is if I'm going somewhere.
But it's useful, And I
That's
have
the
it
only time I use it.
on my watch. On my watch, I have it in the corner. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here I can't.
Yeah, that's what I get.
Yeah.
Right now it's
Yeah,
46 degrees in Connecticut.
Yeah.
I mean, I use it once a day, and that's about it.
Well, I look at my watch and go, "Hey, it's 52 degrees." But
Or I look at it and go, "It's going to rain later." Who gives a fuck?
yeah,
It's freezing. It's 63 degrees here. It's so cold outside.
yeah. But I mean,
At nighttime.
yeah,
Sounds nice.
yeah. Why you just you nurture your ice cream, don't you? It's really great stuff. I'm telling you,
Pretty good.
it's really great stuff. So anyway, so anyway, so we were looking for pharmaceuticals insurance today, and it's pretty cheap. It's only like $36 a month or something like that. How many people out there? Do you all have pharmaceutical insurance? I guess you do. Yeah. Kaiser. And you're how old, Kevin? How old are you now?
63,
Oh, okay. So you're not ready for
4.
Medicare yet.
7.
You're not.
4.
You're not ready for
64.
Medicare yet.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Oh, you're on it.
Yeah, I've been on it for a couple of years because of my disability.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm getting these things from AARP. I don't know what the heck that is.
Well, AARP. Well, it's
Just take it, do it. You get cheap Denny's food.
Really?
well.
They got tons of discounts.
ARP, when you're younger, you belong to because you do get little things like free this and free that and so on and so forth. But as you get older, they carry insurance. We're insured by AARP. Both our dental, all of our stuff, our prescription and our
we do have a
supplemental.
lot of good stuff.
Huh? Yeah, I mean, they're pretty reliable, and I don't think they've ever been caught in the middle of a controversy or anything like that.
Yeah.
And
They're a
basically,
huge organization.
and they're an organization that also advocates for older people, for seniors, which we need all the help we can get, because nobody pays attention to us. Everybody wants to put us out to dry, and it's kind of so I'm very happy they exist, and I've never heard anything terrible about them. But you know what I do hate, and I don't know how many here have malware on your protection on your computer.
No, I don't.
Through, do you have it? You don't have it? Anybody?
I think I do.
Really? I have a thing called what is it? Oh boy, Avast, I think it's called. And I subscribe to it because it protects me when it sees something bad happening on the computer or something trying to get into the computer. It's a problem, so I have it. But the trouble is, the worst violator of my privacy is this program. Because it keeps putting stuff up going, you may be subject to this or that. Hey, why don't you subscribe to yet another one of our services? And I'm already paying you like, $75 a year or something like that. Shut the fuck up. So I stopped using it.
I never bought that. I thought it was bullshit.
Well, malware, it's not bad to have it,
but what's going to happen?
What's going to happen? Well, I mean, you could get a.
You're not going to die.
No, but your computer could get hijacked, basically.
Okay.
And then you'd have to, redo your. In your case, it's no problem, So you just erase everything on your hard drive and start over again.
Yeah.
Jeff's not a big user of his computer in that respect, okay?
Not really.
But me, I do my show. I have all my programs. I got this and I got that and everything. And I can't afford to have some kind of malware come in and suddenly go, we're hijacking you, Send us $1,000 in Bitcoin and we'll restore your computer for you. So I subscribe to this stuff. But I keep changing it because every one of them has some kind of, is a pain in the ass in some way, shape, or form. And I just don't like the constant upselling to me of this stuff. So, what have you?
That's everything, though. Everything they offer for free, and then they want the non-stop nagging to pay for more and more and more stuff.
Well, this thing, I think you can get something for free from them, but then you do subscribe to it to get a kind of a premium service, and that's fine. But then after you get the premium service, they suddenly say, well, you do know that your passwords are being violated, and we have a password program here that you can buy from us. And I'm going, I bought from you. Leave me the fuck alone. So I'm looking around for a new one because I don't want that one. What's it called? Avast? Or anybody know what I'm talking about?
I heard of it. Yeah. I don't use anything now anymore myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
but I think sometimes
most people don't need to. I mean, I don't think. Brian, do you feel you need it at all?
No, I have all my stuff from work.
Yes. Oh, so you have all the
PM and all that stuff. Yeah, there's all types of security to get on.
There are other things like McAfee and so on. I mean, there are a whole bunch of these different. Norton, I found a pain in the ass. I just found it
sometimes they take over the computer, like you said. Like it's always popping up at night.
Oh yeah.
It's like an annoyance, like you said. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. The biggest malware you get is from like Norton and McAfee and people like that who are jumping in on you. Well, anyway, we got about a minute and 10 seconds left before I play the theme. Anybody doing anything interesting this weekend? Well, certainly.
Halloween. Halloween.
Oh, what's Adrian going as?
She's like a big princess, black and red princess.
Wait a minute, a big princess?
Yeah, if you go to my Facebook, you'd see pictures of them. But I know you're so busy.
Well, no, I'm going to go because I want to see her in her little.
I'll send you a picture. And then Simon went as a anime girl. So a couple of his friends, they all dressed up as anime girls. So they went to school.
Wait a minute, a bunch of boys got dressed up as girls?
That was pretty funny.
Well, this is the beginning of a whole new life for them.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, I
did that one time. We used to cruise El Camino in my Mustang convertible, and we dressed up as girls and we're waving at everybody. It's pretty funny.
I don't think ever in my life. Once I did dress up as a woman. Once, and it was because I had a bunch of trans people on who came and did a makeover on me. And to make me look like I was a trans, so I had a dress and all of that. But there was we did that on the radio. It was a kind of a gag thing we were doing. I was gorgeous, by the way. Let me just mention that in case anybody wonders. Anyway, thank you all for joining me tonight. I appreciate the fact that Alan was here. Josh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll be back again doing the Monday show on Monday, and then next Friday, since I don't have to be to court the next day, we'll do a show on Friday. We might do one Thursday if we're through with court on Thursday, but we won't know till then. Anyway, all of you, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Josh, and thank you very much, Brian. Everybody give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you, and everybody be able to see me as I am like frozen. Well, I've got it. As soon as I hang up on people here, I will start becoming more in sync. Watch what happens, folks. You'll see what I'm talking about. See, and now I'm better. I'm better. Yep. See, now I'm pretty much in sync. Anyway, I don't know why this happens, and I've tried everything to get rid of it, and I can't. So what the hell? Anyway, thank you so much for joining me this evening. I will see you again on Monday for the Monday pop-up show that we do, and then we will be back again probably next Friday. I believe, hopefully. And just look on the Facebook page and you'll find out all about that. Anyway, that's it. I'm running over. I'm sorry, Jack. And let me just say that, if you see her, tell her I love her. And by the way, get vaccinated, huh? Okay. All right. Especially you cops and firemen. All right. Bye.